It's real close. Hold on. I'm up. Good morning. Merry Christmas. I'm the only person awake, and there's 8 people in this house. In this 3-bedroom house. We got rollaway beds. We got people sleeping on couches. So, I'm Adrienne, just in case anybody is new and Facebook's decided that, you know, some poor devil out there doesn't have anything better to do than to watch this Cocoa Puffs person talk about Christmas, special needs, and traveling. Don't worry, I don't have a prepared statement. But I really did. I woke up this morning. I made my coffee. When I put my cup in the microwave and it hit the glass, I thought, I'm going to wake up somebody. I spend my whole morning trying not to wake up people. Because you know once they're awake, particularly the small person with autism, the party's over. And yesterday was a long day. A good day, but a long day. So I woke up, I came in here, and the next thing I did was start screwing around with the television because I want to make sure our shows are on our grandparents' television. So then I have to try to remember all the passwords. Well, Prime Video, I need my husband's phone because we have spent... I was worried your son may not have gotten on the flight without his wallet and driver's license. Well, you know, you don't have to show a driver's license until you're 18 on a flight. So they're still safe. So anyway, but I'm too scared to go in the bedroom. The dog's in there, my husband, and the small person with autism who was supposed to be in the rollaway bed, but he ended up in our bed. So then I ended up in the rollaway bed. And the dog, the husband, and the child were in the big bed. How was the flight? Okay. It's hard getting acclimated. Yes, the first day is really hard because it's major transition. And Amos, our person, I'm going to come out here because I don't want to wake anybody up. Holy shit. Oh my God, it's freezing and it's raining. We're near Miami. It has not been this cold here since I was like, I bet it was like 1985 when we had Christmas by this pool right here, this pool, and we're all wrapped up in blankets. And my papa wouldn't turn on the heat because he didn't want to pay the bill. I mean, it's bad. Any meltdowns? Well, we did have one teensy meltdown. And it's interesting to talk about meltdowns. I'm looking for a blanket. I could take this blanket off the couch that my parents have on it so we don't mess it up. Oh, I'll live. I'm not going to freeze. Buck up, Adrienne, buck up. Well, I want to watch Good Morning America, but I feel like I should be out here talking when I have a chance. Oh my gosh, it's cold. So yesterday we got up and had, be quiet, that's the truth. Yesterday, my shirt's buttoned. Yesterday we got up and had Christmas. It was really good. Everybody was pretty happy. Now, Amos with Christmas is, and it took me a while to learn this. Well, when he was super small, I never knew what he wanted for Christmas. And then when he was about, I think it was 3 years ago, when he was about 6, I felt like he was getting the concept of Santa coming. And this year, he was very more specific than he's ever been about what he wanted. He wanted 900 minifigures. And that was pretty much it. Sounds like you're in the rainforest. So we did all that stuff. My in-laws came over. hung out, had a snack, got in the car to leave. Well, we're leaving from Norfolk, 20 minutes down the road, and Allegiant decides to give me an alert. Or actually, they didn't give me an alert. I went in online. I had signed up for alerts. And our flight was 3 hours delayed. So a normal family at that point, this would be at 12. When you find out your flight is at 6:30 and it's an hour and a half away, what would you do? You would go back home. Okay, Chris Wujak, who was my very first babysitter, just said, watch out for falling frozen lizards. Chris, do you know what my parents, Alice and Blair, did yesterday? Other people, hang out. They went around and collected frozen lizards and relocated them to another neighborhood because my dad's convinced they're in here eating things in his yard. I was like, how do you know it was those lizards? Well, I don't. But I took those things down to Crandon. I said, who picked him up? He's got these pinchers that you use to pick up pine cones. I'm sure the people are going to be like, they're like box turtles. They never leave. It's a true story. So big iguanas are not indigenous to Key Biscayne or Miami. What happened, they believe, is they weren't around here when I was a little girl. What happened is somebody let one of their iguanas loose, or actually two people had to have, and they proliferated, and then there's just iguanas everywhere all over the island now. Oh, yay, Chrissy. Some good subscribers on here. Okay, so a normal family would turn around. But alas, we are not that family because we have a person with special needs who has been so excited to go to the airport. And when I say to you excited, I mean, I really did think yesterday and he takes medicine for ADHD, anxiety, I don't know what else. He takes buspirone, guanfacine, and trazodone. But and Christmas puts him way up here. If we had turned around and not gone to the airport, it would have been worse than doing what we did, which was head to the airport 6 hours early. And I realize some of you don't understand this type of lifestyle. And you might be like, this is dumb. I'm not going to listen to this. Good riddance. And if you don't understand this lifestyle, I'm not saying count your lucky stars, because it's actually, my life is very interesting to me. Can you do sex? I don't know. How much you going to pay me, Tassus? Come join my subscriber group and we'll let you introduce yourself and see if we can find you any takers. Tassus, can you do sex? Don't say anything else or you're getting suspended, Tassus. I'm going to give you a second chance. So anyway, we head to Norfolk. Look, Sarah can relate. Thank you, Sarah. We head to Norfolk, and my 3 teenagers are like, you know what? They're fine. We're going to go up there and eat. There's nothing open on Christmas Day, which actually made me super happy because I was like, I'm glad people aren't working, right? Well, my husband had a really good idea. He's like, let's go to that place that's like an arcade and probably has crappy pizza. Something and something. Well, it didn't open till 5. So we drove around. Well, we went to a dog park because we were flying for the first time with Amos's service dog. So that was, kind of exciting. So we took her to a dog park. It was 5 degrees outside. And she pottied. So that was very exciting. It's like, having a baby that goes potty. And then we went to the regular playground, where Amos promptly ran into a pole and got a goose egg on his head and blamed his glasses. And my other children, a couple of my yes, Dave and Buster's. Thank you, Andrea. My other children skated on ice as I screamed down the hill, if y'all get wet, don't come crying to me. But they didn't. It was frozen solid. So we froze our asses off out there for a while, and then we went to look for a place to eat. So this was good practice. This might be a long-winded story, but I mean, y'all don't have anything to do. They were looking up places, and Google would tell you they were open. Are we in a guest house? If there's a guest house around here, nobody has showed it to me. No. We're in the same house that I slept in a sleeping bag on the floor my whole childhood. Yes, retail does need a day off. I totally agree with you. I mean, I was not annoyed that they weren't open. I thought this was genius. So we see Subway is open. 3 different Subways. Yep. So we go to Subway, and I'm like, Amos, Honor, and I'll sit in the car because I just didn't want to have to get out. And y'all go get your food. Darn if they don't go in there and eat. Well, then we go to the gas station. And I did a big video yesterday. And Russell, like, somebody had to pay for him because he didn't have any money. I mean, it was a total cluster, which is, like, pretty typical in our family. Well, we get to the airport. And FYI, the Norfolk airport, I love to hear all the details. Oh, that makes me so happy. Do you ever sleep? Yes, I slept from 12 to 6. I'm like Elf. I got a full 2 hours. So, we service dog Honor, like the Norfolk airport has a great little fenced in pet relief area. So that was awesome. Now, when you travel with a service dog, at least like a legitimate one, she's not supposed to really eat after like 10 p.m. or drink anything. But her trainer, because Honor's through a group called Paws for People, her trainer had said, well, she really likes food, and since you're not flying out till like 3, I would go ahead and feed her a little bit in the morning. So I did. I had given her like a half dose and some water at about 6 a.m. yesterday. So she had had food and water at 6 a.m. But now her flight was going to be late, and she'd had no water. So the reason you do that, if you give Honor all the water she wants, she needs to pee every 25 minutes, which clearly is why you see these kind of pretend service dogs. Have you ever seen them like just pee on the floor in the airport? Yeah. Because they don't know the relationship between drinking water and peeing. And not all airports have pet relief areas. Now, Miami does, but not Norfolk, not inside. And if you get into these big airports, you're screwed. Like, you can't find any place to go to the bathroom. So anyway, it's just that we did see a few service dogs yesterday. I'm waiting for people to be like, how do you know they're not real? Well, you know how I know? Because I seen that vest on Amazon that you bought. Yes, I did. I seen it. I did too. And you know how else I know? Because you're like Rottweiler pug. It's going to piss people off. But you know what? I don't care. I mean, I will say this group, Open Doors organization, that Allegiant uses. We flew Allegiant yesterday. And I really love how they do this. You apply, they call and make sure, like they called the service dog organization and make sure that we were a client. So even though legally you don't have to have a professionally trained dog to be a person with a disability to go in a restaurant, to go on a plane, the rules are way higher. So just because you've trained your in-service dog, you can go in a restaurant, you can go in a school, you can do all sorts of things. They ain't letting you on an airplane. And Allegiant, Alaskan Airlines, British Airways are all using this group that sort of vets the service dogs. And people lie. I mean, they lie. They will be like, one person, my organization said, we have a certificate from Paws for People. And Paws for People is like, we don't give out certificates. So I wish I had her vest. Honor has a vest, and it's not that bright red color because those are typically very fake looking because everybody uses those. So Honor's vest is like burgundy. It has her name embroidered on one side. It says service dog on the other side. It doesn't say don't touch me, I'm working. All those things are like lies, lies, lies. And then she has a photo ID one with her picture, and then one with mine that's clipped on her vest, which is why we get recertified every year. We did it last week. So there's no question that she is a service dog. Now, not that I'm some like expert, but we've had her now for, how long have we had her? 2 years, over 2 years, 2.5 years. She just turned 4. And, is that right? She just turned 4. And my husband, funny enough, we haven't done any traveling with her on a plane with COVID and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But yesterday we were in the airport and we did a few things. Like we went to the bathroom, we went to a store, we took Amos to get a hamburger. And he was sort of marveling because he hasn't done these things. Like, she's a golden retriever and she weighs about 60 pounds. And we went to this first restaurant and they had these high tables. And I was like, do y'all have any low tables? And they said no. And I was like, well, we're not going to be able to eat here because we really need a low table and we need preferably a booth. So we found the next place. She goes right in and you don't see her. Well, that's how it is with a service dog. They are sort of invisible to you. In the airport, she and I and Amos sat on the floor, and a service dog is not helpful if you don't nourish it. What the hell? What does that mean? Oh my God. I mean, I just can't take. I mean, where do you people come from? Property insurance rentals has become a huge problem. Service dog will not bite. $24.99. Before we had Honor, we had a really good chocolate lab named Clark. I mean, she was the best dog. She didn't need to walk on a leash. She listened to you. I mean, if we went downtown to the coffee shop, I would just tell her to sit at the front door. I would go inside and get coffee. And one day this woman had like some sort of Gimp golden retriever. And the golden retriever, German Shepherd, goes crazy when it walks by my dog. And this woman's got it on a leash and doing all that mess. And block the negative Nancy's. Now, this is why I prefer subscriber videos, because they either want to have sex or they want to claim I'm starving a service dog. You pay $5 a month. These people, they don't come over. They only do this on free areas. So anyway, this woman calls the police. This is years ago. And the police come, and I go outside. Meanwhile, Clark is sitting, laying down at the front door. And she's like, that dog is not on a leash. And I was like, well, the policeman happens to be downtown. He walks over. I said, well, my dog is sitting. Your dog is going apeshit. Well, it's supposed to be on a leash. Well, I knew damn well that yank didn't live in Edenton. The policeman said, Miss Wood, could you come over here and talk to me for a minute? I said, Jean, you're not a subscriber. If you were, I like the term subscriptor, I would see a blue badge by your name. So it must have not gone through. You have to click on my link and pay your $5. See how Brooke has a little blue fancy badge? The policeman says, can you come over here? So I walk over with him, and he said, I love how you go off on tangents. It's like the story of my life. He says, this woman is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Well, he didn't say that, but something like that. And I'm going to pretend to give you a ticket, and then she's going to leave us alone. I get it, Nikki. Totally get it. And I said, okay. So he hands me this like blank ticket. He folds up, and she's as smug as a pig in slop. And that was the end of that. But anyway, So Honor, I would never leave her without a leash. If she is not on a leash and you're outside, she is crazy. I mean, she is hyper golden retriever in a family of 6 people with a very unemotionally regulated 9-year-old. She cannot get overwhelmed. He can lay on her. He can do all sorts of stuff. And with COVID, we just haven't done as much public stuff. But she has 3 disability tasks she performs. So this is just a little service announcement for y'all. She anchors for anxiety. So if I say anchor, she turns around backwards and sits between my legs. So she will anchor to Amos for anxiety, and she will anchor to me for anxiety, which is sort of similar because yesterday we had Legos from here to yonder in the airport, and I was feeling a teensy bit anxious because it's just anxious, feeling like it's anxious. So she was anchored to me. She does deep pressure for calming, which is super good. So she sleeps with Amos. She might lay down with him on the couch. She might lie down with me on the couch yesterday at the airport. And she'll recognize when you're stressed. So yesterday when we were sitting in the airport, she literally stood up and sat in my lap, which is, you learn in dog training, and you're always like annoyed, like, I'm not anxious. Why are you? But I mean, and what they tell you in training is pet your dog, pet your dog, pet your dog. So I sat and pet her with this dog in my lap. And I mean, my husband was like, she is nuts. I was like, this is, and I said, this is why she's always getting on your lap on the couch. So anyway, we get on the airplane, and getting on the airplane with Amos is super exciting. So anybody that follows me or subscribes knows that this going on an airplane trip like this has been the high point of his life. Well, there's also something about, let's just say your whole life you've been waiting to go see Taylor Swift. You got your tickets. Yeah, look, Jean, now it worked. I see you. You get your tickets, and you're excited. You're going to go to dinner with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and you are going to get a couple's massage. She's going to put your sunscreen on your back. You're going to, I don't know, go to TJ Maxx. Oh God, there he is. And it happens. Well, you're about to die. Because you're so excited that you don't even know what to do with yourself. Well, that's kind of where we were yesterday. And we had been at the airport 6 hours. Hello.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi.
Hi, Honor.
Hi, Honor. What you doing? Do you want to put your pantsies on?
No.
No. Do you want to watch some Blippi?
Yes.
Okay. So I got up early this morning and made sure all our shows worked on the TV.
All day.
All day what? You're going to watch TV all day?
Yes.
Do you want to go to the indoor playground today?
Yes.
Oh, do you think Honor would like to go?
Yes.
And Mommy?
Yes.
How about Daddy?
Yes.
Okay, let's put Blippi. That says P. Hold on. Blippi.
On video.
Well, look at here. They have a whole Blippi channel. Blippi. This is...
Watch it.
Okay, we're going to watch it. Which one do we want to watch?
Ow.
Careful. You okay?
Ow. Snowmobile.
Snowmobile. Okay. Okay.
We are watching Blippi.
Yay. Did you sleep good?
Snowmobile.
Okay, let's take Honor. I'm going to take Honor outside.
Yes,
Snowmobile. Oh, Honor, look at there. We're going to leave the door open even though it's freezing. Well, where was I in the story? Good potty. Oh my gosh, if the dog poops out here and I don't pick it up, my dad will never let us come back. He said good girl. He said Him letting the service dog come was my Christmas present. Oh gosh. Good girl.
Space to relax.
You need space to relax?
Yes.
Okay, do you have some?
Kitchen.
Do you want me to turn on captions?
Yes.
Okay. You like captions.
This is Mamie and DB's house.
This is Mamie and DB's house, that's right.
Space to relax.
Well, Amos, do they have, oh yeah, they have captions. You have space to relax here?
Yes.
Well, that's good. But, let's see. Oh, there we go. Closed captions. There. Look at here. Oh, Taylor Swift. So, imagine yourself. You're super excited. Well, we get on the plane, which actually we didn't get to the Taylor Swift part. We get on the plane and we're pretty good. Oh, well, he immediately runs into the cockpit, which I was saying to Big Thomas last night. And you know, one thing about yesterday that was really fun, and this might sound silly, but if anybody has teenagers, they understand. You're rarely together like this. So when we go somewhere, and it's really hard to go places. Like I thought this morning, if my parents weren't in Florida or didn't have a house, I wouldn't go stay in a hotel because it would be awful.
Mamie's bedroom.
Mamie's bedroom, she's still asleep.
DB's bedroom.
Yeah, Mamie and DB are in their bedroom. That's right. It's too hard. Not to mention, it would be expensive.
Main bathroom.
Do you need to go to the bathroom?
Main bathroom.
The main bathroom. Do you want me to show it to you? Did you already go? Okay.
Main bathroom.
I really did think that this morning. When you get out of your routine, like when we went Thanksgiving to the beach, we stayed one night and I was like, I'm getting the devil out of here. We have to, it was too much. You just thought, I need to get home to my space. And so you'll see a lot of families like ours and you'll think, well, they don't really go places. Well,
It's a tropical world.
It is a tropical world.
Welcome to a tropical world. Now, oh.
Welcome to the tropical world of the earth.
Yes.
Yes. So just FYI, there are a lot of people that can't go. Oh, Honor's third task. Honor, where'd you go? Her third task is probably her most important task, or the one that we do the most. She's shh, Honor, it's me. It's me. Shh, quiet. Honor's in a new space too. Honor, would you like to eat breakfast? Come on. Shh. I'm just woken up the neighborhood. Her third task is behavior interruption. So that's a really big one because we struggle with behavior issues, obviously. And Honor, where is the darn cup? So behavior interruption. So she might, yesterday on the plane, so he might hold her leash. That's behavior interruption while we were waiting in line. Yesterday was the first day that we didn't travel with the stroller because we could not get the stroller in the car with 6 people and 5 suitcases. Wait. What's the temperature? It's like 50. Cookie? You're making a lot of noise. I know. Amos is under basically the modern age of plastic on people's couches. My parents don't have plastic. They have these blankets they put on stuff so we don't ruin it. Behavior interruptions. So yesterday he didn't have a He didn't have a stroller when we flew, so he would hold the leash. You know, that gave him an activity. And another thing we learned, totally by accident, but no one has ever talked about this, is he pulled a rolling suitcase. And we bought this one that has a scooter attached to it, which he didn't use. But pulling that suitcase, and it was kind of heavier, like I thought, oh, it's a little heavy. It really kept him grounded. Why does the clock in the kitchen say 4? It doesn't. It says 8. Oh, maybe the one on the oven did. I don't know, because probably old people don't know how to change the time. Who knows? My parents aren't old. They're very youthful in their 70s. So he pulled the rolling suitcase, and that really slowed him down. We didn't have any running. We didn't have any, hold on. Yes, Muffin? What?
Look in your suitcase.
Look in your suitcase for what?
Many fingers.
Oh, you want your minifigures. Okay. Okay, let me get them. Oh, here they are. Actually, here it is right here. This is Amos's suitcase that he pulled. And then it has a little scooter attached to it. So this thing really slowed him down. Hold on, let me get his minifigures out here. Somebody had an interesting comment about being a bartender and service dogs. Your dog is really a service dog that went back from food. Bingo. Also, service dogs should never, ever eat or drink in public at a restaurant. So when you see a service dog drinking water at the table, negative goes around her.
Mommy, get that soup there. Hi.
Hi. Ooh, and I found my coat. Look at all the minifigures.
Put it down.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Do you need help getting the tops off, or can you do it?
Can you do it? Help.
Okay. Honor likes.
Honor don't like many fingers.
Honor don't like minifigures?
No.
Oh, Honor, yes she does. Honor says, where is my bone? Honor, you know, I brought you a bone. Let's see what Mamie has for you.
I didn't go.
We had a dog treat. Hold on, I'm getting distracted. I'm 76 and live alone and change all the clocks. I was just kidding. I know, I don't know. Honor, you were gonna have to wait.
That's the phone.
Where was I? Get distracted. Come on. Oh, so anyway, we're not gonna come out here and bark. What was I telling you? I forgot. Amos distracted me. We went to eat. Oh, we got on the plane and sat down, and Amos was pretty good, but he got a little bit up here, and obviously Honor was lying down in front of my seat, so it was Amos, myself, and my husband. And he was talking about wanting to go on a train and a metro and a bus. It's just like he was up. So after a while, he laid down on the floor with his head at one end and put his legs on top of her. So that is behavior interruption and deep pressure, which is interesting. It's the exact way he sits when we go to the dentist. Hey, Lori, my hairdresser. Lori, I'm liking my hair. So I've been saying I hadn't colored my hair in like 3 years, and I went into Lori the other day, and she was like, we need to color your hair. And, you know, I trust her. So we did. I definitely feel a little bit perkier, Lori. I had been saying to people, I haven't colored my hair in 2 years, and I noticed nobody ever said, wow, it looks so good. They were like, basically, we can tell. It's been said, we do what we have to do, but you are so calm, which is crucial. Well, you know, I will say yesterday, one thing that made me a little bit sad, traveling with Amos and Honor, was a commitment of I really, honestly, did not feel like I spoke to my other 3 children once we got to the airport. Now, they're teenagers. They could have been busy. I could have been trying to talk to them. If I hadn't had Amos and Honor there, I might have been reading a book or doing anything else. But they sat together on the plane, and those things are okay. But I did feel a little bit sad because he does take up a lot of my time. And if anything, I was reminded why we have a caregiver, and he would rather be with me than the caregiver. But we're taking our kids skiing this spring. I have a work trip, but fun. Deer Valley is hosting us to come for 5 days to ski, and all doing a little trade of blogging, writing, video for a place to stay and skiing at Deer Valley. And we're super excited about it. And we're not taking Amos because I want those siblings to know that they're seen and heard. But it was fun with my husband, and I woke up this morning thinking, years ago when we were dating, when we were married, I was a nanny because, somebody had to work and he was in law school. But we were dating, and I was in graduate school, and I always babysat, for different people. And I had this cute little redheaded baby. She was probably 1. And he wasn't even in law school yet. He was still working. And for Charles Schwab. And we would go out there, we would go and meet him for lunch. And I remember we went to like Pizza Inn, and we had the baby at the high chair at the end of the table. And the baby was, being loud like babies are. And he was like, the baby's being so loud. I was like, it's a baby. I mean, babies, chortle and vocalize and do all sorts of stuff. Well, yesterday on the plane, Amos, he busted in the cockpit. This flight attendant I was like, he's okay. He just wants to say hello. Well, what he really wants is he wants the people to repeat what he says. So like when we got to the airport, he said, welcome to the airport. And they were like, oh, thank you. He was like, no, you say it, welcome to the airport. And they still didn't get it. And then he looked at me and he said, he needs you to say that. And so I said to them, he needs you to say, welcome to the airport. And they were like, oh, okay. Quiet. We can do that. So he talked to the pilots, we sat down, but we were on the plane, and he's waving at the people behind him. He's saying hello as we're walking through. And I thought, wow, my husband has come so far since the day of that baby, being loud at the table at lunch. And even yesterday, he was like, he kind of made this face, and I said, you know what? It's okay. Like, he's not screaming and crying and kicking. He's like, quiet. We're going to go on a walk in just a minute. Yes, you're fine. Here, up. Say hi. Shh, quiet. This is a new place, and I know you're excited. No, we're not going to park. No, we're not parking. No, we're not. But anyway, our meltdown though, we got out of the airport and we had an Uber driver, and the Uber driver, we were getting ready to get in the car, and my family, they were all getting the suitcases. So Amos and I and Honor, I thought, we'll get in the Uber. Amos did not want to get in the Uber. Amos wanted to get on a subway or the metro. Well, there's like some train in Miami. Lord knows it starts downtown and goes somewhere else. And I've told him we'll go ride on it because it's just easier. Well, Blair was like, as we were getting off the plane, he's like, go to the Uber Metro. And I was like, well, the Metro only runs, during the daytime. He would not get in that Uber. When I say not get on the Uber, he was yelling the F word at me, screaming, carrying on. Meanwhile, Honor's like, this is too much. The Uber driver, you want to talk about somebody that looks like they could just go away? It's him. So I have a hold of him, and he's doing the same thing he did on Christmas Eve. You're hurting my body. But as my dad pointed out, he used to say, help, help me, help me. I mean, if we hadn't looked alike and I hadn't been a white woman with a service dog, people would have called you should have called the police if you saw me getting him in the Uber. So it was nice to have the service dog, because then at least I think it makes other people aware, oh, his behavior might be a little bit different, but she is sort of an outward sign of that's okay. And you get positive attention when you have a service dog, which I think is really helpful, not only for Amos, and people are more willing to talk to him and maybe don't think, especially as he gets older, but also for the rest of my family, like, wow, look at that service dog. And it makes you kind of feel a little bit special, which is nice for them. Instead of looking at him like in horror, it's, people are smiling at you, not pity, but smiling. And that's nice to be smiled at, because the last thing on the world you need is people either looking horrified or pity. The pity might even be worse. Educating people on this thread is important. You know, Patricia, I think that is my whole... You can't help but be an advocate when it's you, but it's real easy to, you know, I didn't know before I had Amos. And what did I act like? How was I in public? You know, what did I do when I saw a family like mine? I felt pity for them. I was enamored or felt awe, and I was impressed, but I was glad it wasn't me. And it's really not like that. It is a different life, and it is a hard life, but it's such a good life. And, you know, people that climb Mount Everest, it's not easy, right? Or they run marathons, like they're training, they're running 20 miles a week. I mean, it looks terrible and awful, but it must be good, not that I'm doing it, because they keep doing it. So hard things are good. I'm out here, Muffin. What he's doing. Hard things are good. And that's how it is with us. And yes, it is crazy, and there are times that I need a break, and some days are hard, like today. You know, we're going to have to come up with something. I might end up on a bus riding around Miami, but that's okay. So Vanessa, I said this earlier, but I'll say it again in case there are other people new. So Honor has 3 disability tasks she does. I think you only have to have 2 with the American with Disabilities Act, but she has 3. One is deep pressure for calming. She anchors for anxiety. She kind of turns around and pushes into my legs. And then behavior interruption. So she might, we might go throw the ball with her, or we might take her on a walk, or yesterday I needed her to hold Honor's leash as we were going through security. And on the plane, you know, she lays there and he's upset, and he's laying on her, and she can handle it. But she's, you know, yesterday was a big day for her. It wore her out. My son is on the spectrum, and he has traveled alone for years. Wow, gets to the gate by himself. That is amazing. Shoo-wee. Honor, have you seen any iguanas? Did you see any iguanas out there? You've never seen an iguana. She said, I've never been to Florida. Honor, this is not what Florida feels like. We will not take Honor to the beach, because Honor thinks going to the beach is purely for fun and to play with dog friends. So I can't imagine trying to have her work at the beach. Her work at the beach is staying in the ocean with Amos. And ain't nobody getting in the ocean today. He might like the duck boat tour. I would sooner have my pinky toe cut off than go get on a duck boat tour. Our son throws up when we travel. Well, Honor gets car sick, so she can't eat. If we're driving within a few hours, she can't eat till we get somewhere. And, you know, one thing that's interesting is that I think we think like the dogs have to eat at a certain time, but they train her to not eat at a certain time because life is not always the same. We might have a dentist appointment at 8 a.m., so she's not going to eat till 10 a.m. So sometimes I feed her at 6 a.m. Today I fed her at 7:30. Sometimes I feed her at 9 a.m. At night she might eat at 5, she might eat at 10. And you can go 24 hours without food or water is what they tell us when we're traveling. Not that she does that, but it's just good to know that, yesterday she peed at the airport at, that's the trash truck. I took her out twice. She didn't go at 3:30, and then she did not go last night until 10:30. So anyway. Connor, come. Sit. Sit. Are you gonna wave? Okay, wave. Oh, she's so smart. She's a good girl. Let's find her a treat. Okay, come on. Your parents sleep in late. They're probably awake. They're just hiding in there because they don't want to have to see us.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Muffin. Who's got their bone? Who's got their bone? You talk about the things that need to be talked about. When you see a family like mine, just say hi. Say, that's a beautiful service dog, or I hope y'all had a good Christmas, or, just talk. I think not being, but even like there was yesterday a family, and they were waiting for somebody at the gate, and they didn't talk to us, but they looked at us and they all had the biggest smiles on their face. And I said to Blair, look how happy they look. And, they're all smiling at us, not like, and Amos is, running and excited and saying hi. And we felt regular, It was nice. Oh, I hear Daddy. Daddy, I don't know where I put her leash.
Good morning.
Good morning, Daddy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Y'all have a good day. Subscribers, we'll see you later this afternoon.